everyone, so today we are doing our third installment to our Dolly Tales series, I Am Thankful, which is in commemoration of Thanksgiving and the season of being grateful for what you have, although it is important to be grateful every day. So we're going to talk about one doll related thing we're thankful for, and then one non-doll related thing we're thankful for. And there will be one more installment after this, right after Thanksgiving. So you want to kick it off?
Yeah, so the doll related thing I'm thankful for this week is that having the dolls back in our lives motivated us to do more with our own lives. Like, for example, cleaning the house. We started cleaning the house back in 2013, about a year after Dad passed away, and part of Shelly's drive while cleaning the basement had been, I want to be able to have my dolls on the carpet, like while looking through containers, and the carpet not be dirty. Or, oh, I don't want to lose any of our doll stuff. And it motivated us to make it clean and to reorganize everything, get rid of stuff we didn't need anymore, so that we had room for doll stuff. And I feel like this trend continues today because recently when we had to reorganize our basement a lot for the new wood stove, a big thing that we were both concerned about was the shelves we bought about a year ago for our doll play sets and where they were going to live. So we cleaned like the only jungle area of the basement that was remaining so that we could use it for the doll shelves.
Yeah, I feel like they just made us want more for ourselves and more for our lives, and like by wanting the best for your dolls and giving the most you like have to your dolls and the best of yourself to the dolls, it made us apply that to other places in our life. And that kind of ties in with mine, is that I'm really grateful that dolls got me back into like art and creating things, and you know, that was a part of myself that I lost confidence in. And like from the time I was a little kid, I liked drawing, and I remember sitting on the floor with my dad and we doodled together on my whiteboard and on my chalkboard, and I liked drawing all the time. And when I was like 13, 14, I loved like making things for my dolls, particularly my American Girls. I used to like cut things out of catalogs and decorate boxes to store their clothes in, and I'd make little napkins for their table, and I'd make like things for them to put in their hair, and I'd try to sew them clothes. I really, really loved kind of intertwining my love of creating things with dolls. But as a teenager, when I, you know, took a break from dolls, I wanted to like go to school to be an illustrator, and I put all this pressure on myself, and I started comparing myself to other people, and it got to the point where I actually had like massive like anxiety, I guess you could say, when I would open up a sketchbook, and like everything that I made in like art class I wasn't proud of, and I ended up not having the confidence to like want to go to art school, and I kind of put aside that ambition because I didn't think I was good enough. And when I started getting back into dolls, my dad was really sick, and that what kind of really kicked it off was I remember I wanted to make clothes for our paper dolls, or Raggedy Ann and Andy paper dolls. I was like really bored one day, and I just like took them out and like traced them and made some cool clothes like we used to do as kids. And I don't know, it just got me really back into it, and that led into me like making paintings for my Disney displays, and me making doll stands, and that led to me making earrings, and all of those things like made me want to learn new skills and to push myself, and even if I wasn't proud of what I made, to like keep going, to keep building on that. And I feel like that's like such a huge part of who I am, and I've been able to use that in other areas of my life too. And like I've found hobbies that I really, really enjoy that like yes are intertwined with dolls, but that I also just really enjoy, like making earrings. I love like getting into jewelry. I would have never done that if it weren't for dolls. And like I've been trying to get more into sewing, and like that's something that I always wanted to do, but I lost the motivation when I wasn't into dolls anymore, and because I lacked the confidence. So they really gave me a piece of that back. So the non-doll related thing we're thankful for, we actually agreed on again this week. It's for family, and how we're thankful for the family we do have. So like obviously, you know, our parents aren't around anymore, but we do have like extended family, and then like technically not family that we're really lucky to have in our lives, and we're grateful for those people. And I think especially like around this time of year, I'm really glad, because I remember like, you know, after like Mom died, I felt really bitter and like skeptical of people because, to be honest, it's not like losing my mom made me paranoid about losing other people. Like, it was more that I saw how people like kind of made you fake promises and false promises and said they'd stick around, or you thought they'd stick around, and they, you know, after so many months they stopped caring, they stopped bothering with you, they didn't follow through with what they said, they didn't really care, they just said things to make themselves feel better. And like, you know, our mom's side of the family never had anything to do with us after she died, and that was really hard to accept. And so I guess I kind of just never really thought after our dad passed away that anyone would bother with us. I know it's like a really awful thing to say, but like, you know, when your grandparents who gave you your first dolls basically don't love you enough to want to bother with you after you lose your mom, like, you don't think anyone's going to. So I'm like really, really grateful to the people who have, especially our aunt and uncle, because they've been awesome.
They really have been.
And like, you know, they're like very different than our parents, but they're like, they have a special place in our hearts.
They do.
And I think like that's something to keep in mind, that like no one's perfect and people aren't always going to get all your interests or always say the right things, and people show their affections in different ways. And you know, our parents were very different people than the other people in our family, but I love and accept, you know, our extended family for being who they are, and like they each have something that we're appreciative of. What do you want to add?
Well, first of all, that, you know, like she said, sometimes the people who aren't technically related to you can be like family too, and that our best childhood friend and her parents have been just as great as our aunt and uncle. And also that it was actually a Thanksgiving holiday that really made me love the holidays again. A few years back, we had Thanksgiving for the first time out of, I think this is going to be the 5th now, our aunt's brother's house. And we got acquainted with like our aunt's sister's boyfriend, and he made us feel welcome. And he says later, he said at our cousin's wedding, we made him feel welcome.
Yeah, and he took a real interest in talking with us about the dolls, and he talked to us about his like love for making like models and things. So that was really cool because you don't usually meet people who are
interested.
Most people like tune you out. They're not really. They think you're weird.
And you know, it's nice to some of the people they at the time lived far away, and it was really special. And it's still really special. And Thanksgiving has definitely become my favorite holiday.
Yeah, I remember like a few years ago, like when Dad was really sick, I remember feeling bitter about the holidays, thinking like when I'd see Christmas lights, like I'm never gonna be happy, I'm never gonna like have that sense of family, because I just didn't feel like a part of anything. And I thought after Dad passed away that we'd always just kind of feel like, I guess like orphaned dogs or something, strays that we wouldn't really feel like would fit in anywhere. But people have like gone out of their way to like include us, and like our friend Lisa's parents have invited us over for like Christmas Eve and had us over, and like we had dinner with them, or you know, our uncle always makes sure that we have somewhere to go for the holidays. And like I think that's the most important thing, is that people do care and they do remember, even if you think that they don't. And like that's my biggest thing, is I definitely have a voice in my head that tells me all the time that people don't care. And I think it's just be grateful for the people you have, even if it's like one person, because you don't know how long you're gonna have them. And it's so important to like tell those people how you feel, and to like, you know, express your gratitude. Like we always try to write people thank you notes when they do nice things, like when our friend's dad helped us put in our back door, and when our uncle fixes our Jeep every few weeks. You know, we always try to be thankful and tell people that, because life is really short. And I guess I'll close that out by saying that, you know, I never took it for granted that one of the last things my dad said to us, like really the last thing he said to us before he went in for a surgery that ended up leading to the complications that killed him, he said, you know, remember, I'll always be here, and like
I'll always be with you.
Yeah, I'll always be with you. And like that really, like I remember that, and so I'm really grateful that like my dad was the kind of person who said how he felt, and he'd leave like little notes for us, and he'd always make these little hand signals when I'd be sitting and looking at him. He'd make hand signals like, I love you. And then he'd go like, this much? No. This much?
I forgot he used to do that.
Yeah, we'd always do that, me and him. And like, I feel like that's so important. Just let those people know that you care about them, and be grateful even if they're not perfect, because nobody is. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll do one more installment, and we'll see you before then in other videos. So until next time, love your dolls, love yourself, and love your life.